Her and how it's unfair relationship advice. Story 1. Cheated on by wife. Left for another guy. She still texts me frequently and cries to me how I'm doing better than her and how it's not fair. First time post on Reddit, so I'm going to do my best. I don't know the acronyms yet, I'm trying to learn them all. If my writing and story is all over the place, just know I'm 31 and wife is 28F. We have 2 kids, 7 and 5. My wife asked me for a separation August 27, 2020. She left that day and was apparently living at her mom's. The day after, I get messages from her cousin that she's been cheating on me. Wife claims she never did up to this day. A week after we met up to do a Zoom meeting on her phone to meet our son's teacher online, she gets a Facebook message saying something like, "Only a few hours, eggplant emoji, peach emoji, sweat emoji." After the meeting, I asked her if she could explain that, and she said she didn't want to talk about it and that she deleted the messages already. She said it was a girlfriend of hers because my wife was going on a date, and apparently girlfriends get excited for each other and think they're just going to get laid, which I obviously didn't believe at all. I got really upset and told her to leave. Around Thanksgiving, October for us in Canada, she told me she was taking the kids to another city to visit her grandparents and go swimming for Thanksgiving. She ended up lying and actually went with our kids and this guy she apparently cheated on me with and stayed in a hotel. On their drive back, the car engine blew and died. The car she fought me for and owes almost $12,000 on still makes payments on every couple weeks. This is when I started to believe in karma a little bit more. Between September and November, my wife and I drank together and had sex around 5 or 6 times. I still wanted her back and I really wanted to have sex with her. The part that I'm realizing now is that she's been seeing this guy for a while now. I found pictures of them about a week and a half ago. Ever since I saw those pics and confirmed things, I've stopped talking to her. I just wanted to believe all her lies, even when they were obvious. So she's cheated on me, left me for him, and was cheating on that guy with me. Just 2 weeks ago, before I found out for sure, she came over and we were talking and she was letting me feel her up and give her a full body massage and everything. Right now I can't even fathom what's going on in her head. Some other extra facts. The kids are doing well, my apartment is spotless, and I've lost 50 pounds since she left me, 235 pounds down to 185 pounds. She's come to my place a couple times and has cried to me about how it's so unfair how I'm doing so much better than she is. She said it's not fair that I'm doing all this now and not when we were together. She told me she still loved me on Christmas and bought me Christmas gifts. Not just junk, but a bottle of sake because she knows how much I want to visit Japan and like making ramen and such. So she put thought into it. I don't mean to sound rude either, but she doesn't look very good nowadays either. She's been putting on weight, has gone hard into drugs and drinking. She tells me she cries all the time. She told me she was depressed with me, left me thinking it'd be better, but is still depressed, and that messes with her. But as we know, happiness comes from within, and she has none. So if you left me for someone else, at least be happy about it and make the best of it. She hasn't texted me for 4 days now. This is the longest she hasn't texted me in 4 months. She has told me before, when we were together, that if she ever left I would fail. When I started a job working in a kitchen, started as dishwasher, she said I would never make any friends. Apparently she forgot how social and good with people I am. All the waitresses loved me. I moved from dishwasher to working on the line and being asked if I'd want a bartend. At the time I was overweight and my self-worth and confidence were shot, so I didn't take up the bartending. She didn't like how many people, especially the girls, ended up liking me. Throughout the marriage, whenever me and my wife would go out drinking, she would always end up twerking on the wall or the floor and letting guys videotape her. She flirted with everyone and even had many of my close friends thinking I wanted a threesome with her. I don't drink often, but one Halloween I drank too much at a friend's party, ended up passing out and throwing up everywhere. While I was doing that, she was in the bathroom with guys showing her tits off for free coke and who knows what else. But she convinced me nothing happened and ended up making me think I'm crazy and everyone was wrong. Basically gaslighting me. I'm seeing a therapist now and I'm learning that basically she just needs attention from external sources non-stop. Getting it from her husband just wasn't enough. I know we all have issues, our marriage wasn't perfect. I know I still love her and care about her, but I won't be a backburner or a second choice. I hate comparing how me and her are doing, but it makes me feel better right now. I have my own place, a dog, happy kids, my own vehicle, money, and university, and even though I feel like complete garbage, I'm going through the emotions so I can fully move on and try to be at peace. Whereas she is living with her mom, broken car, no vehicle, asking me for money and living off CERB, COVID money, unhappy. Depressed. Thought the grass was greener and it isn't. She is so afraid to be alone with her own thoughts that she still sleeps with her mom or the kids sometimes. When I have moved on, she will not. I don't know if she will ever move on, because she knows she made a mistake and is stubborn. In the end, I just don't know why she cheated and left, but continues to text me, has had sex with me, says how much I'm doing better than her. It boggles the mind. But then again, how can you understand someone who doesn't even understand themselves? I'm doing well, but some weeks I just feel so much hurt. Like she pulled my heart out, shattered it, and banged the other guy on top of the shattered pieces. Anyways, that's the story. There's so much more I can say in background that I could give, but I think this does it. Thanks for reading. Feel free to ask any questions or whatnot. It's a difficult time to get separated, cheated on, and COVID at the same time. Did I cheat? I am 32, slept around while she, F28, was out of the country indefinitely before we were officially together but still romantic. I, 32, got divorced in January of last year. My ex of nearly 8 years likely cheated on me, but I'm not sure and I'll never know. It turned my whole life upside down. I couldn't bear staying in place, so I moved out of state to be closer to my family. I lost my marriage, my house, my dog, and some friends. Shortly after moving, I met a woman. I'll call her Iris, F28. We hit it off well and I asked for her number. She warned me that she was likely going to travel to Africa a month later and that there was a good chance she would move there permanently. I said okay. I figured a low commitment thing was exactly what I needed at that point of my life. I told her about my own situation. We started dating. And then we really fell for each other. Me more than her, I think. I discovered she is an amazing person. I've never admired someone so much or felt so attracted. I thought she must have been too good to be true. It was too fast, surely, too soon after my divorce. Everything about her felt so right, but I knew I was too vulnerable and couldn't trust my own emotions. And while she also felt strongly about me, she nonetheless decided she was going to travel. And I grew increasingly distressed the closer we got to the date of her leaving. I tried very hard not to pressure her to stay, but I didn't quite manage. I told her I wanted to be in a relationship with her, that I couldn't do long distance. I said that maybe I could wait for her for 3 months, but no more, and even that was asking a lot of someone in my shoes. She told me not to wait, that she wasn't ready for a relationship with me. She said, wisely, that I shouldn't commit to anyone so soon after a divorce. She said I should see other people, but that if I did, she didn't want to know about it and I should wear a condom. She also said she didn't know if she was coming back and that if she came back in, say, a year, that would have been a short time. She said she hoped we could be together eventually, that maybe one ambiguous day in the future she'd knock at my door, see if I was available, and maybe we could try then. I told her I didn't want to see other people, and I meant it. Iris was my third sexual partner. I had never casually dated before, and meeting her had interrupted any desire to start. I just wanted her. But she left and I felt more heartbroken than I had from my divorce. So she hoped we'd be together in some nebulous future, but couldn't tell me if she was coming back anytime soon, if ever, and had given me her blessing to see other people, but didn't want to know about it. A kind of don't ask, don't tell policy. So that's what I did. I started going on casual dates and hooking up with people. I assumed Iris might do the same. Meanwhile, we continued talking, and it was romantic because we still had feelings for each other. Iris continued to express hope that we'd be together someday, but still couldn't give me any concrete answers about when that day might come. That combination of hope and hopelessness was crushing, and it also made me feel guilty about seeing other people. While she had given me what felt like a logical blessing to date around, it had not felt like an emotional blessing, and that was confusing. And I'd been asked not to talk about it, which seemed fucked up, but I went with it because I didn't want to hurt her feelings. I don't regret dating for several reasons. I was intensely lonely in that period, and it helped with that. My ex had done a number on my self-esteem, and it was nice to feel attractive and desirable for the first time in the better part of a decade. It made me realize I should have dated way more when I was younger, because if I had, I probably wouldn't have made the mistake of marrying my ex. Most importantly, it clarified to me that Iris wasn't a rebound. Every person I met was a reminder of how uniquely amazing she was. Every date I went on made me long for her more. I had hoped the dating would help me get over her leaving and accept she was never coming back, and instead it was doing the opposite. It was making me feel like no one would live up to her. As time went by, I agonized over how it still seemed Iris would never come back, that she still wouldn't give me any clarity about what she was planning. No timeline, no hope. Some 2 months after she had left, I couldn't take the emotional stress anymore. I tried to tell her I needed to distance myself emotionally. I reminded her what she'd said about knocking on my door one day and seeing other people, and suggested that maybe we should do that. Obviously there was a lie there. I had already been seeing other people and I was looking for confirmation that it was still okay. She recoiled instantly, said that if I dated other people, she wanted nothing to do with me, and made it clear we would never have a chance. I was puzzled and alarmed. It seemed to directly contradict what she had said before leaving, and made it obvious that if she knew what I'd been up to, she would feel very upset. I hadn't liked lying about it, but up until then, I felt I had her approval to date around. Suddenly I was in a position where what I'd done had actually been wrong, and coming clean would be extremely difficult. And that's also when, for the first time since she had left, she gave me any sort of hope for us. She revealed that she actually felt increasingly committed to me, that she had been thinking about coming back for me, and that she had been staying loyal to me this whole time. She seemed surprised at how impactful this revelation was. She hadn't understood just how awful the indefinite long distance had been for me. Once she said that, I backtracked completely. I panicked. I didn't want to break up. We weren't even officially together, but that's how it felt. It was terrifying that someone would make the sort of enormous commitment to me that she was suggesting, but it was also everything I wanted. I expressed to Iris how excited I was at the prospect of her coming back. I broke it off with women I'd been seeing and deleted the dating apps. I felt the crushing guilt of knowing she was probably coming back, believing I had remained exclusive to her all along, just like she had to me. Even though we hadn't established that, even though she had encouraged otherwise, even though she had, in my mind, instructed me to lie to her. But knowing all this didn't make the guilt go away. I wanted to tell her. I felt she deserved to know, and I wrote out a long letter explaining it all, but ultimately I didn't send it, in part because I thought it would needlessly complicate things. She had asked not to know, so why tell her? To clear myself of pointless guilt. I told myself it was selfish to want to tell her and tried to just get over it. She came back from Africa, and we have been together since, now approaching a year since her return. It has been utterly wonderful. She is a dream. I've never known someone so tender and understanding. She has made me feel like I can truly be myself with her, like we can communicate about anything. I've been loyal to her and have had no desire to be with anyone else. But for the past year, the guilt of having lied to her while she was traveling didn't go away. I hated that I lied, it was killing me, and every time she praised my integrity and honesty, it made it worse. So 2 days ago, I told her. I told her in a moment of vulnerability, of feeling so much love and trust from her that I genuinely felt she could accept what I'd done. And she is hurt. She feels betrayed and disgusted. I feel horrible for her. There is a good chance we are breaking up. She says that because, before she left, I had said I didn't want to date other people and just wanted her, she had thought it meant I wasn't going to. She says she had meant that she just didn't want details about who I was with, but that she had wanted to know if I was seeing people. I think that makes sense now, but that was not how I had understood it. I feel like we've had an awful misunderstanding. I wish I hadn't said anything, because I know my commitment to her, I know my love, and I know I'd never cheat on her. And I may have irreparably damaged her trust. I'm also ashamed I primarily said my truth not for the sake of honesty, but to free me of the unshakable guilt I'm not even sure I deserve to feel. The way I was raised, in an abusive Catholic household, guilt is a constant presence and not a good barometer for judging a situation. I feel bad about the dishonesty, but I also feel anger because the situation was fucked up. She had given me no clarity about what she was doing or what she wanted. She had made it very clear she thought I shouldn't commit to her. She had given me hope with one hand and starved me of it with the other. I felt like my heart had been dragged around on a string for 2 months until she actually communicated what she wanted. But I love her and I desperately want to make it work. I know that no matter how I see the situation, she feels betrayed and disgusted and cheated. She says that if she forgives me, she'll feel like a sucker. She says she wants to have casual sex with other men to balance the scales and feel better. I know that won't fix anything and I hope it's just the hurt talking. How do I fix this? Do you think I cheated? And if I did, is it forgivable? Mother of my child cheated on me. I'm devastated. I'll try to keep this as short as possible. In November, my then girlfriend of 5 years and the mother of my 3-year-old son cheated on me. I had taken our son to my grandparents, as I always do on weekends, and she stayed behind our apartment. She asked me to call an Uber for her to see a friend, didn't respond to my text the rest of the day, and could not account for her time/whereabouts when I asked the next day. Fast forward to Nye, she got drunk and bragged to a mutual friend that she had banged someone on the night in question, someone I know. The mutual friend told me. I was livid and told my ex to pack all of her stuff and leave the apartment. When I probed about the infidelity, she said she had no choice but to cheat because I had grown distant and she felt I didn't love her anymore. She has moved back to a friend's place to sort herself out and I currently have our son. I am devastated. She is unemployed, got retrenched recently, near homeless and has no idea when she'll get a job. She's asked if I could buy her monthly plane ticket so she can come see our son until she finds a job, but I'm against this. We've blocked each other everywhere except WhatsApp so she can video call our son, but I am terrified about what happens next. I am a mess and she seems to have thoroughly moved on. Which is fine, whatever, but I fear for what happens next with our son and how we'll co-parent successfully. If she doesn't get a job in the next few months, she has mentioned the possibility of taking our son back and I'd send some sort of a stipend to support the both of them. Really looking for any advice, how to heal from the infidelity and how to successfully co-parent. So the mother of my child cheated on me, got drunk and blurted it out to my friend. She moved out in the beginning of Jan and has been couch hopping with friends since then. I currently have our son and have been living as a single father, custody still being sorted. I don't know whether this is a rant or an update. It's just so weird to see how quickly the affair fog evaporates. She was all hope and arrogance after she cheated on me, changed her appearance and, in the first few weeks of couch surfing, kept reminding me that leaving me was the best option for. Well, now the reality is sinking in. AP distanced himself from her after finding she had a partner, she's still unemployed, and she hasn't seen our son in 3 months because she doesn't have the means. Funny enough, I always prayed for karma, but I honestly feel sorry for her now. Her friends have told me she is suicidal and she has admitted more than once that she shouldn't have cheated. I don't know how I feel. Definitely not happy she's getting her comeuppance. This is just such a sad situation. I'm starting to hate my husband because of his relationship with our daughter. Before I even got pregnant, my husband and I made the decision that he would be a stay-at-home dad and I would work. This is what both of us wanted and what would work the best considering I made a lot more than him. I was on bed rest for the last couple weeks of my pregnancy, and because of this I had to go back to work as soon as I was cleared 6 weeks PP. Everything was great with the baby until I had to go back to work. I had to stop nursing because I was gone all day at work and she eventually winged off me after only 2 weeks of bottle feeds when I wasn't there. During the week I'm able to see her for about 20 minutes awake before I leave for work in the morning, and she's already sleeping by the time I get home in the evening. At night my husband insists on being the one to get up every time because he's worried about me getting enough sleep, even though I tell him I'd rather spend time with our daughter and be tired. But it doesn't really matter because she cries whenever I hold her. She won't take the bottle when I try to feed her. I can't comfort her back to sleep in the night. She's completely uninterested in playing unless it's with her dad. I physically cannot hold her without her screaming, crying. Since I've been back at work we've been alone together maybe 4 times, and every single time she has cried the entire time her dad wasn't there. I literally know nothing about her and it seems like my husband can read her mind. He knows what her different cries mean when I don't even notice a difference. She smiles and laughs at him. She has never cried when he picks her up or holds her. I am her mother. I am also her parent. I should be doing these things. But she doesn't even know who I am and it hurts so badly. I'm not regretting our agreement of him being at home with her. I just wish I could spend more time with her and wish that she actually liked me. Or just at least her not crying whenever he's not there. He tries to make me feel better by telling me how bad it is when she spits up on him or leaking poopy diapers and things like that, but I want that. I want to be spat up on and shit on if that meant my baby actually liked me. He sends me pictures and videos of her all day when I'm at work, but it honestly just pisses me off that I'm the one who gave birth to her and all she does is cry at me. I can't even hold my own creation. I'm grateful that he's such a good father to her, but I hold my own creation. I'm grateful that he's such a good father to her, but I wish so badly for that to be me.